Right now, we're going to go straight to Katie Lamb, MP, Shadow Home Office Minister. Katie, very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. It's my pleasure.
Good to see you. I mean, this is such an appalling report that I think even those of us who knew how bad this was didn't quite realise it was as bad as this. And so many sort of talking points, but many of them around who knew what and when did they know it, and why in January did so many Labour politicians and Labour cabinet members and ministers say they didn't need an inquiry.
It's totally shocking. The report is a very, very difficult read. And you're right, it's bizarre, truthfully, to me, that we had so many politicians, even after such a long time of brave people campaigning about this, people speaking out, including Labour politicians. Anne Cryer talked about this back when nobody really at that stage yet had started talking about it, that still, just a few weeks ago, it's being denied as an issue. Lucy Powell's calling it a dog whistle. Yeah. I mean, it's remarkable.
It really is. And of course, even yesterday, you've highlighted this on your Twitter account. Sean Davis, Labour MP for Telford, told the House that Amber Rudd and Rishi Sunak refused to provide a statutory inquiry into grooming gangs when he actually was the one who was in charge of the council who asked them not to.
And it's all documented. There is a signed letter which has also been posted online where he said, effectively, there's nothing to see here. Don't come to Telford. Yeah. There's nothing to look at. And so it's totally acceptable to change your mind. And if anything, it's a good thing. We welcome the report. We're very, very pleased that the government has accepted it. But on an issue that is so much about distrust, conspiracy, cover-up, credibility is important, and the government have said for weeks and months this is not something that needs to be investigated any further.
Yeah, and that is the problem. And Baroness Casey has said that this needs to be a thorough inquiry, but it needs to be a fast inquiry. It needs to bring swift justice to the victims, but it also needs to pinpoint, surely, the people responsible for covering it up in the first place. And if it turns out that Sean Davis is one of those people, then what do you think should happen to them?
Everybody who has been involved in the cover-up of these crimes should go to prison. That is the only appropriate place for them, whether that is for misconduct in public office or whether it is offences to do with obstructing the course of justice. Everybody who has perpetrated these crimes needs to be in prison, but everybody who was part of the cover-up needs to be in prison.
Yes, and in terms of how that's done, I don't know that there's a clear pathway for that yet. I mean, is that down to Baroness Casey as to who heads the inquiry, how it's how it's put together, what kind of evidence they'll look at, how soon it will start, any of that?
The decisions from here on out are all from the government, all for the government to make, which is again why this credibility point is so important, because how are victims and survivors supposed to trust them when they've been saying all of the things that they've been saying? Right. But there has been an announcement of a specialist unit in the NCA and the National Crime Agency that will reopen old investigations. Yeah. My concern at the moment is the focus still seems to be very heavily on perpetrators. Yeah. There has to be a unit in the NCA that is tasked specifically with investigating officials, both elected and civil service officials, police officers, social workers, everybody who was involved in covering this up, everybody who knew and did nothing to protect these children.
And there has to be, presumably, the ability for whoever is running the investigation to sort of subpoena, if you like, papers, letters, emails, WhatsApp messages, voice messages, everything.
Absolutely. And this is one of the key problems that we have always pointed out with doing local inquiries that don't have statutory powers, because if you don't have a legal power to compel a witness or to compel paperwork, we saw this in Manchester, it's just going to be another part of the cover-up. It's going to be another whitewash.
Yeah. And Keir Starmer has said many times that he is and was the chief prosecutor in this country. He knows from his time as head of the Crown Prosecution Service how important it is to lock up the bad guys. He's being accused, though, of not prosecuting an awful lot of these cases. It's true to say that he did prosecute some. It's true to say that he did introduce a chief prosecutor in the north of England as well, Nafar Asval, and they brought that in. But he's also accused of not going after quite a lot of these people. Do you think he has questions to answer?
Yes, I do. And I think the only way that we are going to heal really and move on from, which is going to take a long time, we're not there yet, this appalling series of events, this, I think, greatest stain on our country in its modern history, is for everybody to be totally honest, to get everything out there, for everybody to show contrition, to genuinely apologise, and then we can start moving forward. But that absolutely includes the Prime Minister.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite surprised he hasn't said anything yet. You know, he said, he announced they were going to do this inquiry, and then he flew off to Canada, and he still hasn't actually spoken, as far as we know, about this whole business.
And I think it would be really, really powerful if he were to say to victims, to survivors, I was wrong. I got this wrong. This was a bigger issue than I thought. I thought it didn't need to be investigated any further. I thought that there was a far-right bandwagon that people were jumping on. That's not right. That's not true. What you've said is true. This is a real problem. This is a real phenomenon, and we need to be honest about it with one another if our country is going to fix it.
Indeed. Katie Lamb, great to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Katie Lamb MP, Shadow Home Office Minister there, saying that Keir Starmer does have an awful lot of questions to answer, and he should come out and he should apologise. We've heard an apology from Yvette Cooper, which we'll play in a moment. But, you know, Keir Starmer hasn't said anything.